friends, and welcome back to my channel. So this is my 5-month recap. So 5 months ago I had surgery. December 19th was actually the date, December 19th, 2017. So at my largest, I was 370 pounds with a BMI of 50.2. That's pretty big. After 6 months of Kaiser classes, I lost 30 pounds before the actual surgery date. And so on the surgery date, I was actually 340 pounds and my BMI was 46.1. In the last 5 months, I have lost 125 pounds. This past week, I weighed 215 pounds and my BMI was 29.2. So my goal is to never be over 220 pounds again. However, what I really want to do is I want to be around 200 pounds. I think that would be really an ideal weight for me. But as long as I'm under 220, I'm pretty stoked. You know, I've kind of met the ultimate goal of being under 220 for the rest of my life. But 200 is really where I want to be. If you follow that BMI chart, which I know we all have feelings about that whole BMI thing, but if I follow that BMI chart, a healthy weight for me would actually be 183 pounds. I mean, maybe I'll get there, maybe, I don't know. But that is not a realistic goal for me. I feel like under 200 and I'm pretty satisfied. So as far as the surgery is concerned and like any complications or anything, as far as the laparoscopic incisions, those have all but disappeared. I mean, you can kind of tell where they were, but they're basically gone. Fitted hats no longer fit me. I mean, I literally had to take this hat and fix it. And some of the other hats, they make my ears go out a little bit. And it's just kind of funny, like things that used to fit don't fit anymore. They're just too big. I've got some extra skin on my waist and some extra skin on my arms. Not much, but you know, just a little bit. And I've got a little bit of extra skin between my legs. It's funny because I've always been kind of proud of how big my legs are. They look like really strong and muscly and manly. And my legs no longer have that like big guy look. You know, they still look muscly and strong, but they don't have that same look. They're considerably thinner. On my backside, I have definitely lost a little bit of weight, and so now my tailbone hits whenever I sit down, and it's kind of rubbing up against the seat, and it hurts. You know, my tailbone it's not used to actually having to like push up against anything hard. I've definitely got a lot less cushion. My back has been hurting for a while now, and when I talked to the doctor last, they said that my body was kind of repositioning itself. Since then, you know, I've been starting to do back exercises, I've been stretching, I got one of those heating pads, that's been working out really nicely. I've also been trying to work on my posture, you know, try to sit right, whatever I can do to help out my back. Just after my 4-month mark, I had to go get some lab work done, and my labs came back fantastic for the most part. Everything is looking good, except I'm low in iron. So I'm pre-anemic, and so I need to take like an iron supplement, and I switched up my vitamins. I went back to the Bariatric Advantage because come to find out, the supplement that I was taking didn't have any iron in it. What's been happening is if I stand up too fast, I get lightheaded and it almost becomes like a tunnel vision type thing. So, you know, I've been making sure to drink more water, get in that iron, and it's, for the most part, it's actually gone away in the last 2 or 3 weeks. One thing also that I learned from the labs was that I was pre-diabetic. I didn't even know that, but since the surgery, I'm no longer pre-diabetic. And another great thing that's happened since the surgery is I used to have to wear a CPAP machine. I had a pretty severe case of sleep apnea. I now no longer have to use the machine for the most part. I sleep better. I am very well rested. The skin of my stomach has started to shrink a little bit. So even though I still do have quite a bit of extra skin on my stomach area, it started to shrink in. And I contribute, one of the factors is I've been going to a gym. And it's one of those gyms where it's like a high intensity workout for an hour. Like I said, they've been strengthening my back and my quads, and it's been a great experience. And to be able to run on a treadmill for a few minutes is kind of a big deal for me. I haven't been able to run in 3-4 years. And so I've gotten up to where I can run at a pretty decent pace for about 5 minutes before I have to slow down. I'm just going to take baby steps, and eventually my goal is to someday be able to maybe think about doing one of those marathons or half marathons or 5Ks. Well, I don't even know anything about them. But, you know, my goal is to eventually have the strength to be able to say that I can do it or to try it maybe. I am so much more flexible than I was. I can now reach my toes without having to completely bend my knees. I'm not having to deal with so much mass around me, so I can actually move. So I've been trying a lot of foods in the last couple of weeks. Some have worked out, some haven't. And the funny thing is, one day something will work out well and the next day it won't. Basically, I like to have my Greek yogurt in the morning. Then I have my protein shake. I really like refried beans because they go down really smoothly. Chili is good. I can have a little bit of turkey inside the chili, but if I have too much turkey, it starts to hurt my stomach. I really enjoy this little concoction that I made. I take a little bit of Ezekiel cereal, the no sugar one. I mix in some no sugar jelly, and since I'm allergic to nuts, I put in some sun butter. So I take all that and I mix it together. It's almost like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's so darn tasty. I try to get in some vegetables, but the vegetables, they sit pretty heavy. A little bit of zucchini, a little bit of squash, a little bit of carrot. And it all depends. One day I'll be fine and the next day it'll make me gassy and then I'll have a really bad stomach ache. I tried one of those cauliflower pizzas from Trader Joe's. The one that comes pre-made, pretty darn good. The one where you have to put on your own toppings, that crust was disgusting. I've noticed that I am getting hungrier and a little bit of the head hunger has come back. It's been kind of a stressful time at work. Not for any bad reasons. It's just, you know, there's a lot that's been happening at work lately. When I come home, I used to go and eat and eat and eat. And so I kind of want to go back to that. And so there's been a few times where I've had a little bit too many beans. It just makes me feel disgustingly sick. So I have to be very watchful of what I eat still and make sure not to overeat, because if I overeat, I get sick as well. So people have been telling me that I don't seem as moody or as irritated as I used to. I didn't know that I was irritated, but I guess I was. And, you know, I feel healthier. I feel better. I feel like I can take on the world a lot easier now. You know, I'm getting more sleep. Maybe it's due to the fact that my body's working a lot better than it was. So I don't think I talked about this in the last video, but I've been trying the sugar-free chocolate for the most part. A lot of those sugar-free chocolates, they're really good, especially like the Russell Stovers. And Hershey's even came out with a dark chocolate and a milk chocolate version. But you got to be careful because more than one, and I don't know about other people, but I just start to feel all bloated and gassy, and it's not worth it at that point. But you know, if I have a chocolate craving, I can have one chocolate and I'm okay. Overall, I feel healthier, I feel better, I feel more alive. You know, I'm able to do more with my children. I was able to get onto a swing without fear that it was gonna break the other day. You know, I'm running around, I'm playing more, I feel happier. And so, was the surgery worth it? Yes. Could I have done this without surgery? At this point, I don't know. I mean, I was definitely going down a road of almost no return with my weight and my eating habits. My willpower was just non-existent. When those cravings start to come back, and they are starting to creep back in, I want to still be able to say no, because I have to be successful this time. I have to. I have to do this for me. I have to do this for my children. It's a happier life. I want to have that happier life. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, good for you. And we're almost to June, so yay, June, halfway through the year. All right, have a great one. Bye.